Now, chiefs in the Savannah region have finally been forced to the table to sit with leadership of the youth, as all 8 accused were granted bail yesterday by the Tamale Circuit Court. The youth under the leadership of Gonja Land Youth Association have been invited by the Gonja Traditional Council for a meeting this week for the way forward on current happenings in Bupe, among others. This comes on the back of Chief of Bupe, Abdullah Jenapor II, annulling the appointment of Ibrahim Musa Bari as leader of the Fulani community in Mande, a suburb of Bupe, in the central Gonja district of the Savannah region. Bupeura Jenapor, who made the announcement during a news briefing at his palace in Bupe, also condemned the youth for going behind the committee to vandalize people's properties in an attempt to halt the process.
Based on the recommendation and roadmap from the committees established to ensure peace in Bupe, I, Bupeura Jenapor, wish to state unequivocally that the earlier appointment of Ibrahim Musa Buri as the Fulani leader in Mande is annulled and stands reversed. Meanwhile, a new Mande chief in the name of one Abdullah Alassane has since been installed and has taken fully in charge of the suburb called Mande.
Isaac Nonya is joining us, Savannah region correspondent, and he joins us to take us through the latest on the ground. Ike, what's the latest on this issue?
Well, on the ground here in Savannah region, we just received information that the youth under the leadership of Gonjala Youth Association have been asked to meet the Gonja Traditional Council in the meeting somewhere this week, 24th thereabout. This was the same meeting that the youth were told somewhere last month were seeking to have with the chiefs who form all the paramountcies in the region. But that was not possible. And we believed with the tension around, let's say, three of the major towns like Busunu, Damago, and then Bupe, the chiefs have no option than to sit down with the leadership under the Gonja Land Youth Association and then to agree with them the way forward. Remember what happened at Bupe was a similar thing. The youth in Bupe felt that they needed to be engaged by the Bupeura Abdullah Jenapor II. And that actually happened under the committee led by the DASEC over there. But the other issue that did not go down with the chiefs, one major one, which is the disturbances before the annulment of the Fulani chief, and then the implementation of some of the recommendations. So on our way out of Bupe, we realized that some of the paramount chiefs, notably the Bola chief and that of Bembi, including other paramount chiefs, were on their way to Bupe to solidarize with him. And I believe it was out of that meeting that this invitation extended to the youth was possible. So we are told that 24th of this month, the youth, led by the Gonja Land Youth Association, will be sitting with all the paramount chiefs and the Gonja Traditional Council to have a proper assessment of the case and then what to do and the way forward. Because we are told that after Bupe, 2 other paramount chiefs will be next on the list, because the issue, as we said yesterday, the Mande chieftain's issue is just the trigger, but there are so many other underlying causes of the disturbances that the youth think that they need to be listened to and to also be part of the solution to the problems in the Savannah region.
Interesting. What have the youth also been saying after this invitation was extended to them?
The youth thought that having taken some of them to the police, the court, it's not just 1 or 2 people. It's the entirety of the region. So if the way forward is to listen to them, they should allow the youth to come out and let them engage each other and to chat a way forward. Until that, those who were put before court is only going to exacerbate the case, the situation on the ground. And I think that was one of the reasons that we are told the counsel for the accused, and one of them, and then the president of the Gonja Youth Association, one lawyer, who stood in surety for the accused, to be bailed yesterday. So I think the chief have listened to the cry of the youth to allow allow them to meet leadership to meet them, and then for them to all to give them a listening ear, so that they will further put their reasons that what is happening, so that together they can have a peaceful environment in the region.
So after that announcement, how is the place like this morning?
Well, the three police stations, Damago, Bupe, and Busunu, that was where the youth tried to have their way and to get their police out. But once they are not more with them and they are in court, and possibly now in Bupe, the place come. But we can say that as we speak, all those who were accused, who were before court yesterday, are residing in Bupe. So there's still some kind of relative suspicion between the police and then the accused person, and then the youth and then the palace of Bupe. And I know one funny other aspect is that, it's not just, like I rightly said, it's not just between the 8 accused persons and then the Bupe Ura. It's the youth over there, and then the youth led by the leadership of Gonjala Youth Association that seems to have problem. Disagreement with certain things that are happening over there. And going under the Gonjala Traditional Council, the acting vice president, the vice president who happened to be the acting president of the Gonjala Traditional Council, also happened to be the Bupeura, Abdullah Jinapur II. He's going to chair the meeting, so we don't know how the youth are going to react. They have not given their consent yet, whether they will go for the meeting or they won't go. So we're waiting to see whether the youth will go and sit under the leadership of the same man they have a problem with, based on certain decision he has taken, or they will not go. But residents think that this is a good opportunity for the leadership to go and then put their case before the House and also listen to what the House will say, so that they can take it from there.
All right. I'm grateful. Isaac Noya is our Savannah regional correspondent. And we've also been joined by the man at the center of the development, Ibrahim Musa Bari, on the telephone. I'm so very grateful that you could join us. How are you handling the situation, since it sort of revolves around your leadership?
Yeah, good morning, and good morning to your viewers and also listeners. In fact, it's something very unfortunate and which is supposed to have happened. The leadership are still calling for calm for both parties, but we want to acknowledge the issue at Bupe is not the youth of Bupe against the Fulani. It's about things within the communication between the youth and the leadership of the Gonjala, or the leader of the Bupe. I think those are the communities that did not go well with the youth and the leaders. So we, as the leaders of the Fulanis in Ghana, I think we have a very cordial relationship between us from time memorial, because Gonjals and Fulanis have lived centuries before today. It's not just yesterday that Fulanis and Gonjals were living together. So all that we are calling as leaders of the Fulanis is that calm should be restored, and the Fulani should stay calm. We are not fighting with the Gonja youth. I think there is miscommunication somewhere that agitated this. I don't think it is because of the scheming of the mandate chief, because traditionally every community has a leader, just like even other Zongo communities. We have Gonja chief, we have Hausa chief, we have Frafra chief, we have Dagoma chief in all communities across this country. And I don't think the meeting of our scheming of the Fulani chief and Malay would have caused an havoc or disturbance. I think there is some lack of communication somewhere which needs to be addressed. And then we, the leaders, are ready to sit on round table and see the best. Because we have been together, we have been engaging the Fulanis and the Fulbe and the Gonja youth have been engaging. We have been engaging in a sense of coordination, how we should migrate others that are in the interland, how they will migrate to the urban areas, the education, the other civil issues, how we could come together and live together, which we have been living together. So we pray that this issue should bring us more together than before. Already USA has been playing a vital role how should bring the Bundeswehr and the full together, which we have done to a T. That's what I say. It's unfortunate this thing just popped up now, and I believe the account is here enough to improve. So we are ready to come together around table and then see how best we can still live better than before.
So I get the impression that you accept the annulment of your appointment as the chief and accept the new appointment that has been made in the person of, and a new chief to replace you as the chief of the Fulani Monday, right?
Listen, I think the annulment, if that would be peace, let's annul the chief that have been in, and then see the best person that they, the youth, think they can work with in the community. I think that is for me personally, not about the leadership of all Fulani. Personally, anything that we should do that could bring peace within the community and bring development, because his intention that we knew is to improve the development of that community. That is why he gave a vast land that the Fulani or other individuals can come there and buy and build. But there is a rumors going on that he has dashed the land to the Fulani. That is not true. What he always gives to the Fulani is about 4 acres land so that we should come and build an education facility like the vocational and other things, because of he saw the handicap led our education. That is what he gave to us. But the other land, before he became the chief, was the land that he asked anybody to come and buy, so that development will come to Bupe. And that is what I think maybe the communication did not go well with him and the other individuals of the youth.
Grateful, sir, that you could join us this morning. And that's the former leader there who says that if the reversal of his appointment is to bring peace, he's okay with it now. Government is scheduled to meet leadership of the Individual Bondholders Forum today at the Finance Ministry. It follows a petition to the Minister for members to be excluded from the government's domestic debt exchange program. The group says the program, if not reversed, will be extremely catastrophic for its members and others who depend on it.
When you are broke, do you spend more or you spend less?
You spend less.
But this is the only government that does the reverse, and you are not America. America can do that because they are never broke. They are the ones printing the dollar. You don't print the dollar, so you will be broke. Our government is increasing its expenditure by practically 40%. We are adding 54 billion to it. So think about it. How much is government saying that is on the table? 138 billion, right?
Yeah.
They will say 137.5 billion.
Yeah.
So if government alone said that, look, for this year, I'm not even going to increase any expenditure, it means that you can save 54 billion. I'm going to spend my life just like I spent in 2022.
Last year.
When you spent your life in 2022, did we die?
No.
Are we not here? So you can't do that, but now you want to increase by 40%. It's like the highest ever. Then you come to compensation. You break it down. The compensation, the salaries.
Salaries, yeah.
It's gone up 17%. But remember that these things actually, when you look at the current one, you are past 300% from the time they came into office.
Yeah.
What are you increasing this 17% for when you are broke? Look at interest payments. These domestic interest payments, the increment in it that was budgeted for is only 1.2 billion. So what is the crime? In fact, it's actually a reduction. The plan for it is a reduction, minus 4%. So with that minus 4%, you can still survive and even pay every local bondholder. Not even individual, everybody. So if you take out just the individuals from inside, you take our coupon portion out of it, it's also about some 1 point something billion, just about this. Plus the entire portion that is maturing, combined you get about 6.6 billion. Other expenditure, you have increased your other expenditure by 18 billion. Because you have provided 26 billion. Most of it are going for energy sector shortfalls. Guess what? That has to do with the power sector. You take a company like ECG. ECG is losing about 3 to 4 billion cedis every year. It just until recently that we've really had a good MD. What's his name? The gentleman's name? Samuel Dubik Mahama. Yeah. And he's trying to reform the place. Yeah. If you're appointing people over the right properly, on meritocracy, and not just appointing party para chicks, would have saved money and wouldn't have to be spending 24 billion.
Let's wrap it up, Senor.
For waste.
I see good.
But government, I beg in the name of God, we haven't done you any crime. All we did for you was to trust you. So Exodus chapter 5 verse 1. Let my people go.
So that was Senor Hosi, who's one of the leaders of the Individual Bondholders Forum, speaking to my colleague Evan Smith on the PM Express there. In the studio with me is a bondholder, Charles Ahin, who says government's decision to include individual bondholders will affect not only him, but the 3 disabled persons under his care and their mother, who is also disabled. That's already, it's a very sad one. Charles, good morning and thanks for joining us. Now, I understand that you've invested every peswa that you have into bonds, and that the livelihood of these kids and the mother depend on that. But you have the story. Let us understand, how was it like? How was it looking like for you, and what's staring at you?
No, I felt very bad, and I said, we are dead, because an individual, someone who has some money and also cater for people who are disabled. I have 3 disabled people with their mother who is also a disabled, that I'm taking care of them at Bujumbura. Their father died, and we have to acquire, we have to sell a property. And quickly when we sold this property, I think that the best place that I can put it is in savings or a government bond, so that anytime they are looking for it, I can take the interest and then give it to them. One of them, a disabled person, is going to school at Legon. I send him her there. Another person is also trying to do DJ, and I also take care of him, plus their mother, who also cannot work. So these monies are supposed to be used in taking care of them, including my own money for my children who are also in their universities. So I didn't know how come we individual bondholders has to be included. Because if we are included, it means that our livelihood is cut off completely. Apparently, this bond is supposed to mature this very month, this very year.
Okay.
To be able.
The bond that you bought.
Yes, to be mature this very year. To enable me use the proceeds to do all this, to help them continue their living. And here comes the government telling us that it's not going to give it to us in 2, 3 years, 5 years, 15 years. It means that they will have to just die. They have to die because they would not survive.
Wow. How much did you invest?
I have 50,000. They also have, I have 500,000. They also have 500,000.
Wow. So 1 million cedis locked up in the bond. Yes. How do you plan to fend for them if government should go ahead with
No,
the plan?
I'm going to take all of them to if it is the Parliament House or wherever, so they see what to do.
Wow.
Yes, I can't again. As of now, I have made a structure at the Budumbrem camp where I have kept them. I have not finished even doing that structure. And they are there. The government can go with me. I'll show their pictures. And you yourself, you can understand where I'm coming from. And you know, this thing is really causing, going to disturb people. It's going to harm the nation also. Because where we have our trust, where else can we go?
So you intend to carry these children and their mother to the Parliament House just to make your point?
How they will take care of them, and they should do that.
Really?
Yes.
So at this present moment, how do you care for them?
As at now, I don't have much in my account because I know this year is coming. So as at now, they've called several times, said, but I have refused to tell them what has happened. I always say, oh, wait. But then their mother is aware of this.
So assuming this month, nothing comes in by the end of the month,
they will have to stop the school and wait because I need to pay their school fees before they enter. I need to pay my children also fees at the university and buy items for them. They all have to hold on for some time.
So one is in Legon.
My children, the cripple one is in Legon.
One is in Legon.
Doing communication. He cannot go, so he do distance.
Oh,
so I've acquired some computer for her, and he does it at home.
Okay. So she has that opportunity.
Yes.
How much?
The other one is also at one of the radio station as DJ.
Okay.
He just graduated and he wanted a place even to do his national internship. But because of movement, he is at home at the moment.
So how much in school fees does the one in Legon pay?
Now they are supposed to pay almost 3,500.
Okay.
Yes, for fees alone. And I'm sure there's some arrears, but then that's what they are supposed to pay, 3,500, 2,500.
Okay. So, I mean, just to drum home the impact of what's going to happen on their livelihood, in a month, what's like the expenditure budget for these people?
Yes, in the month, I'm sure they will, each person will spend no less than 5,000.
In a month?
In a month, apart from the school, daily, at least in a month, we can spend almost 1,500.
Okay.
In a month, yes.
Oh, okay. For the three of them.
Yeah. No, for the three of them.
For the three of them.
Yes.
So in a month,
yes,
each person is likely to spend like 500 cedis.
Yes.
In a month.
Yes.
Okay. On feeding.
On feeding. Yeah.
Okay. So today, leadership of the Individual Bondholders Forum are meeting with government at the Finance Ministry. What do you expect your leaders to do?
I'm expecting them to not include individual bondholders because they are really doing the government a good service.
You mean the individual bondholders?
Yes, they are doing government a good service.
Okay.
It's never a crime. It is a good service because, you see, if you don't give the money to the government, then what else? What do? Where does the government always have to go for external money to do something? Over here, people are giving you money to use, so that just give them the interest. And that alone, other government, other people are looking for such opportunity. They are not getting. But we trusted you, we gave it to you. Are we not doing something good that you can appreciate? What surprises me is that even before we want to take this, the government has come out that individual bondholders are not supposed to be touched, which was a good suggestion. It's something that I really understood them. Because for an individual, your lifespan is limited. You can die. You are not a going concern. Anything can happen to you today, tomorrow. So then what is it? Okay. But if it's an organization which is a going concern, then that one you can sit down with them, sit with them and know that you is not an individual. If this one is not there, the company still continues. So okay. So why somebody, an individual, who can just
pass out
tomorrow or something?
Okay. So many people have been suggesting what government can do to get us through this problem of restructuring our debt so we can secure a program with the IMF. With your personal situation, what would you tell government to do in this, instance or this time of trying to restructure our debt so we can secure a program with the IMF to put back the economy on its right path?
It's very simple.
Okay.
There are so many areas that we can cut costs. I am not a politician. I don't go to politics. I don't do anything. I am talking as a layman. We are not asking the government that, please do everything. Do what you can. And then we will continue those processes as we go on. But if you want to do everything, then some of these things are going to happen. Cut certain costs that you think that this thing, I can do it without harming anyone. Then we could go.
Okay.
Because for even at times, I believe that with this particular situation, that helps individuals and a country to learn how to overcome on their own.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So your bank asked you to come and sign. I'm told banks were sending messages to individuals.
Yes.
So your bank sent it to you.
My bank sent my message, and I didn't even know. My bank sent me a message, and I said, what is happening? I just asked, what is happening? I just came. I even didn't know that whether bonds or savings or T-bill. My concern is that I am saving it at what? At what? At a proper place, at a place that has security, so that at the end of the day, take a little, give me interest and also use it. So keep it. So I don't know how now.
Why you didn't ask them to use it to buy bonds?
We are not so much interested whether it's bonds, whether it's T-bill. What we want is that they will come and tell us that we want to invest. These are the areas. This is the then issue it to us. I said, okay, then do it. If it is bond, you do it in bond. So far as it is government and I can get it when I need it. That's that.
So they explained to you before
buying
the
bonds
for you.
They explain.
Okay.
But I don't bonds. Nothing of this sort has happened to bonds before, and no one expects, and it shouldn't happen at all to an individual.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So if the president is watching us now, what will be your message to the president? I want you to look in the eyes of the president and tell him what you want him to hear from you.
He should consider individuals and
so I want you to address the president. So
yes.
Looking to the camera into his face.
Yeah, so Mr. President Anado, please consider individuals, because individuals are, God's creation. And that is the reason why you are even doing this, what do we call them? The church.
National Cathedral.
The National Cathedral, where if you build cathedral to look after human being and make sure that human beings are well survived and serve God, and you have that spirit, then you don't have to let any human body suffer or perish. You don't let to have any individual suffer from any anything.
All right.
So,
Okay, Charles Ahin.
eliminate us from exempt us. Thank you very much.
I'm grateful that you could join us.
I'm also grateful.
So,
for
Charles
inviting
Ahin
me.
is an individual bond holder who is calling on the president and by extension government to exempt individual bondholders from the domestic debt exchange program. Now, move on.